me is the joy of Bible study when you read a passage enough to where one word sticks out and you go, why is that there? And there's a word here I find very, very interesting. It says he takes them, they come begging him to lay his hand on him because he's deaf, he's got a speech impediment. 33, he takes him aside from the crowd privately. Let's just get to this in a minute, puts his fingers into his ears. What in the world is that about? And then go with me to spitting. And then we've got a whole new kind of scenario here. But this is the part that really gets me. Verse 34, he looks up to heaven and he sighs. What is that? What is that? Because, I mean, like, about to perform a miracle, stretching forth your hand, you're going to go. I mean, we know it wasn't a bother to Jesus. He wasn't bothered by him coming. So, I mean, when I sigh, I'm usually frustrated. I mean, what in the world is he sighing about? Like, Lord, I mean, Jesus, this is awkward. This is an awkward time. There are awkward times for a sigh. This is an awkward time for a sigh. Unless we see where it's used, that very same Greek word or form of it is used in other passages. And it is so fascinating. Look at Romans 8:23, and look at this wording. It says, and not only the creation, but we ourselves who have the first fruits of the Spirit groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for adoptions as sons, the redemption of our bodies. I want to read that again. And not only the creation, but we ourselves, we're already told that all creation groans. We ourselves who have the first fruits of the Spirit groan inwardly as we eagerly wait for adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies. Do you see that word groan in many of your translations? That is the same word stenazo. Stenazo, that is a word that is translated here to groan. Listen to 2 Corinthians 5:2-4. It says, for in this tent, and the Apostle Paul is talking about the physical body of man, for in this tent we groan, there we go again, that's stenazo, longing to put on our heavenly dwelling, for while we are still here in this tent, we groan, that is a form of stenazo again, being burdened, not that we would be unclothed, but that we would be further clothed, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. Now stay here with me, because then we begin to understand a little bit about why that word would be used in that context when someone comes to him with that kind of an issue, that kind of special needs, that kind of pain that they've lived through the deafness and through the speech impediment, not being able to hear what they're saying, but not being able to make what they're saying understandable to the person who can hear. Talk about isolation. But what if we stick groan in it? Well, suddenly something different happens. Because now with that in mind, I want you to just think about what it is that he takes him to the side. He puts his fingers in his ears. He literally touches and spits and touches his tongue. He looks up to heaven and if we were to use the word in Romans 8, he groans, not just sighs. He's not just in a bad mood. He's not just like, well, I'm really tired today, like one more miracle today. But no, he's groaning. Every time it is used in that context, when we hear it in Romans 8, and I'm about to read it to you again, certainly true in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, it is about the groaning of wearing these earthly bodies. The groaning of it. To think about what it meant for God to be limited to this flesh. Think about the pain of it. Listen, okay, for instance, I have a friend who has a daughter that has had a long time relationship with painkillers, a long time relationship. As it often happens, they were prescribed at first. She developed an addiction, then she began to get it through other means. Listen, I get addiction, so I'm not casting any kind of stone. But when she was trying to come off of it, everything hurt. Everything. Why? Because she was used to having the pain killed. So listen, can you imagine what it would be like? Because she'd gone from painlessness to suddenly every part, your wrist hurts, your knees hurt, your feet hurt. I mean, she was young. But if we could go from no pain to these bodies, we'd be going like, whoo, this thing hurts. Like you knew what it was to be thirsty. He knew what it was to have to be hungry. I mean, how annoying would that be to be God and go, we're going to have to stop and eat? Are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me? We're going to have to drive through Jack in the Box. Are you kidding? I'm God here. There's something wrong with this picture here. I have no needs here, and suddenly I'm stricken with needs. And so what I believe is happening back in this context is that he is groaning over man's dealing with his own body of flesh. He gets it. Listen, I love this. This is a different form of the word. This is the noun form of the word stenozo. But listen to Romans 8:26. It says, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings, form of stenozo, too deep for words. Okay, stay with me. Lord, please help me explain this well. All right, so when we come to Jesus with our need, somebody watching today, no telling how many people, are maybe dealing with cancer treatment, pain from cancer, the sickness of the treatment, also many other kinds of maladies. You might have a back injury. You might have been born with special needs that causes you continual physical pain. Maybe you've got the flu. Maybe you've got a stomach virus. Maybe your heart is so broken. I know what it's like to have your heart so broken that it feels like pain. It feels like your chest is gonna break. It takes on a physical pain. Do you know that God so enters in that when he prays for you in your pain, he groans. He groans. Jesus knew what it was like to take on the physical body, to feel what it was like to be beaten, slashed, to be crucified, to be hung up, to be nearly suffocated in his own blood. He knew what that was like. And so the Spirit enters in and intercedes. When you come to him with your groaning, Jesus gets it.